has milk,
He doesn't
Connor.
know.
Hands up if you drink chocolate milk. Your children, all of your children. How are you here?
I'll gladly be your
Where are your
child.
parents?
Yeah.
I don't like chocolate milk. I just want a chocolate.
It's not chocolate milk, it's Milo!
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too like bitter old man, jaded.
Yeah,
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
I turned 26 like in like a week, and I feel like that's it. I'm old.
We are literally
I'm
all older than you.
You're literally the youngest one on the
Damn.
stage.
Literally
guys-
shut.
And probably the youngest in this room.
You guys are
Yeah.
decrepit.
You're
the youngest
gross.
in this room. What?
Honestly
In
disgusting.
terms of mentality, I mean.
Oh! Someone said it. Oh!
I'm never returning to this country.
Well, there's a second part to this answer. It says, yeah, my load in your face.
Alright guys, this has been great. I think it's time for us to leave now.
Having a good day today? Let's try that again. Is everybody having a good day today? Fantastic. My name's Andy True. It's an absolute honour to be your MC this weekend. Now, our next guests are very highly anticipated. You guys excited? Well, they've got millions of followers and fans all across the internet. They've got a long history of creating amazing YouTube videos, from anime hot takes to tours in weird bars in Japan. They've got this whole niche completely covered. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome the amazing, we've got GEEX and SydSnap, also Sea-Dog VA, and also the one and only, Trash Taste Joey Anime Man.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, that's us. That's me. That's Joey.
Oh, we should have sat in this order. That
Oh,
would have made more
we
sense.
should have.
Whatever.
All right, guys, just to kick it off, for anyone that doesn't know you, just introduce yourselves.
Who wants to go first?
I'm
Yeah,
in the
you
end.
do
Come
it.
on, come on,
Okay.
Joey.
Hi, I'm Joey the Anime Man. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Connor. Sea-Dog VA. Wow.
Hi, I'm Grant.
Hi, I'm this guy's wife.
Well, welcome back to Aussie soil. So glad to have you guys here, and a massive congratulations to Sydney and Grant for getting married.
That's true.
I mean, in celebration of that, we actually have a surprise for you guys as a whole.
Oh.
And also for your newfound love for bread, Grant.
Please tell me it's like a bread heart.
Is it? Oh, I'm curious now. What are you going to give me?
Well, it is a whole bunch of Aussie snacks.
Oh,
shit.
sweet. Okay.
Yeah, and some of these snacks will also
Oh,
have
it's berry bread. Let's go.
berry bread.
Oh, we got fairy bread and Vegemite.
Oh, is this
Vegemite.
Vegemite?
They put,
Is this
what?
literally just like sprinkles on
Why is there
bread?
sprinkles
Yeah,
on
It's
now-
not just Sydney. It's not just sprinkles on bread. It's our national food. Okay.
Connor, this is Vegemite more
I thought
done
your
well.
national food was Tim Tams.
No.
Oh wow, way to just go into it, Connor.
Wait,
I like
which one did you have? Oh, you like Vegemite?
Yeah, I like
Oh, hell yeah.
Joey, is it good to taste Vegemite and fairy bread again?
It is. I used to eat copious amounts of fairy bread and Vegemite, so.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, right?
No, it's pretty damn
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad.
What do you think, Connor?
Connor, thoughts on the Vegemite this time round?
No, he
I know
likes
you've
the-
tried it before.
No, he likes the Vegemite. He doesn't like the fairy bread for some
It's
reason.
just sugar on bread.
Well, that's why it's good.
You know, it's great. The sugar hides the bread taste, so I love it. I love it. What can I say?
Oh, I want some fairy bread.
Sydney, thoughts?
The fairy bread's not bad. I'm gonna try the Vegemite now.
I love Vegemite.
It's good.
It's good.
We were told that there was like a Vegemite, like the perfect Vegemite to butter ratio. There's like different techniques to eat Vegemite, so...
I mean, some people put butter, some people don't.
I love Vegemite. It's so good.
Yeah, right?
It tastes like dog food. I swear to God.
All right, guys. Well, while you're munching on that,
Give me the Vegemite. Give me the
yours?
Vegemite.
Can I
Yeah.
have yours?
Oh, please do, please do. Oh my god.
Take it, for God's sake.
it actually is quite better when it's toasted as well. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's better on toast,
I
definitely.
mean, this is still salty.
Yeah, that'll hide the taste, right?
That's
That solves everything.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, while you're munching on that, today's all about content creation in Japan. To kick it off, how did you guys end up in Japan?
Well, Joey, do you want to start? How did you end up in Japan, Joey?
Oh my God, I can't.
I can't wait.
I've only spent like half my life there, so I moved 6 years ago? 7 years ago, I think. After I graduated USyd, shout out USyd. Yeah, so I graduated USyd, got a degree that I'll probably never end up using, and then moved to Japan, and then I was kind of hanging out there for a while. And then I met this particular person that, if you know Trash Taste, a certain person called Maylene. And I started working with her for a little bit, and then these boys came to visit me a couple of times. Likewise with Sydney as well. And then one day, Maylene just went up to these three and went, "Hey, what? Do you guys wanna live in Japan?" And then you guys said,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
"Yeah,
Obviously. Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's more of a why not, but I mean, yeah.
yeah."
Oh, speak for
Why
yourself,
not?
but.
Type of thing. And then so Maylene, kind of gathered all of us together and then started this agency called GEEX Plus, which we're now a part of, and it's slowly growing. And yeah, the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah.
Joey, what was the degree out of curiosity?
I got a degree, I got a bachelor in design computing.
Oh, okay.
It sounds way more impressive than it actually is. It's basically just a Bachelor of Arts, but on computers. So it's, it was good actually because I learned how to video edit through that degree. So if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be able to edit. So I'm indebted to that, but yeah, when it comes to the actual degree, it's somewhere in my parents' house. I'm probably never going to use it, yeah.
Thanks, Joey. All right, let's go down the line. Connor.
I mean, he told the story better than I could, really. Yeah, Maylene just came up to us and was like, "Hey, do you want to move to Japan?" And I thought, well, I'm not really doing anything else. So I mean, I guess, sure. And I went to Japan not knowing any Japanese, which is probably a terrible idea, but I think it worked out. I think it worked out pretty good. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. Joey basically told the story. The only thing I would add to that is, when Maylene pitched us the idea, she made it seem like she was like, "Oh, I got a great idea. I'm going to look after you guys." What we didn't know was that she just wanted to win a competition to get money. So every year, Katakawa runs a competition to see who could think up of the best new business idea. So Maylene just wanted the money. She didn't care about us. And luckily, GEEX Plus just grew from there. Yeah, that's pretty much the story.
It's literally what they said. I don't know what more to say.
They're like a deal package, so.
You just get bread on your face. I don't know.
I'm sorry, that's cute. In terms of where you guys lived in Japan, Joey, I know you lived in Tokyo for quite a while. Is that the same for most of you, or you guys moved around?
Actually, when we first moved, Maylene purposely made us all kind of live near where Joey was. And then just kind of like, once all of our leases were up, we're just like, well, they'll just scatter a bit. Just like, I mean, we're all in Tokyo. Well, except...
Yeah, but yeah, so like I was already living kind of just outside of Tokyo. So I guess, yeah, Maylene thought it was a good idea because, it was their first time moving to Japan, all right? And, so that I could be there or, like other people could be there to kind of help out just in case. Because when you move to Japan, you got to do a crap load of paperwork. And it's very arduous and it's very tedious.
Jerry saved our asses.
Yeah. So I had to go, especially with Connor, I had to go to the town hall with him to do all the registration for him. So
not fun. Not fun.
No, it wasn't fun at all. But yeah, no, we kind of lived together. Not together, but like lived in the same area for a little bit. And then yeah, we all, after a while, because we had all kind of taken our time to discover Tokyo and like, you know, different areas that we all individually like to live in. So we're all just like, yeah, let's just kind of go and live our own lives, you know, out in Tokyo.
Yeah, nowadays, whenever Geeks Plus signs a new talent, they have like an entire team looking after the new talent. So recently they signed Emily and Didas, and they have like personnel to like get them through everything. We didn't have that.
Yeah, what the hell?
We only had Mei Lin, so
They got like the royal treatment.
yeah, they did, right? They got someone to pick them up from the airport, you know, introduce them to the new house. We just had to like rely on Joey. Whenever we got like some post or something, we just phone up Joey and be like, Joey.
And I wasn't even paid for it. I did that out of
my
the kindness of my own heart.
Yeah, so if not for Joey, we'd probably be a bit screwed in Japan.
We could try and get Yakuza or something, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
something like that.
I'm sure many people would die to have Joey as a helping hand.
He's ours.
I cost quite a bit.
Okay, well, in terms of creating content in Japan, what were some of the major difficulties that you guys faced over, you know, your YouTube career?
I mean, I just did the same stuff I did outside of Japan. I
Doesn't leave his room. Still.
Yeah, I did leave my room, and especially during the pandemic, I almost forgot that I had moved countries because we couldn't leave our houses at all. And it was only when you go to the convenience store and people were speaking Japanese, I'm like, oh yeah, I moved to Japan. This is weird.
I think one thing that we can all agree on is the hardest thing in Japan is trying to convince places you want to film that YouTube is a real job.
Yes. Yes.
Because because usually in Japan they love asking for permission. Like it's all about, if you want to film in this particular place, you got to ask permission to make sure you get everything is all good. But when you go up there and you ask for permission, usually they go, oh, so you part of a TV station or something? Is this like a TV show? And you're like, yeah, not really. There's this thing called YouTube. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
If I put TV instead of VA in my name, I could be like,
yeah,
it's TV.
C.TV.
Yeah, C.TV.
Like instant, like, yes.
Yeah, it's TV. You might have heard of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's like the biggest issue right now, because I think there's like a weird stigma in Japan still about like YouTubers going out to like public places to film and stuff like that.
Thank you, Logan Paul.
Thank you, Logan.
Yeah, thank you, Logan.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. So yeah, because of that, it's definitely gotten a lot harder. But I think like eventually over time, when you try, you get your name out there, and especially with the help of like an agency as well, like it makes it a hell of a lot easier. Yeah.
Definitely having someone there to pitch for you and all that.
Yeah, because go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, over to you, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that it would be like, hey, I want to film here, here's my thing, but it's always like, there's like a chess battle of like trying to email in the correct way to convince them, so
Yeah.
it is a challenge.
Yeah, especially as well as like when you're a foreigner and they're just more of like, I've gotten rejected from so many places that I'm like, yeah, it'd be amazing to like record there, because they're scared that since I'm advertising them that foreigners might come and they don't speak English or don't want to deal with the potential stress of it, which I understand, but also it kind of sucks.
It's such a shame, right? Because most of the time when we go and film in places, we're doing it obviously for good intention. Like we want people to know about this cool place we're showing off, but I guess the owners or the representatives of a lot of those places just don't have that same mentality. So hopefully maybe one day, they might come around to it, but...
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's why I just stay in my room. Easy, no permission needed.
Wow.
Well, Sydney, I mean, you've been to so many taboo places like the BDSM hotel and all that. How do you pitch that? Do you just go up there and go, YouTube?
Actually, so what my manager tends, sometimes I find a place when I'm just walking down the street and I'm like, I have to go with a representative, and I'm just there like listening to them and they're speaking Japanese and they're like, oh, she'd like to do a video here, and they're like, what, for like, does she want to record porn here? And they're like, no, but she does talk about stuff like that. And then they're like, oh, maybe. I don't know, they're just like so iffy until they do it, and then I do it.
Do you have to like show examples or anything like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, they do ask sometimes that I show examples.
Which ones do you pick to show them?
Maylin's the one who usually is just like, or Anna, just like,
that's dangerous, getting Maylin to pick videos.
She's just like, she talks about this one hentai porn.
I like how just explain that if you were doing porn, it'd be way easier to explain.
No,
I think,
yeah.
You get it, you know what it is.
Yeah, alas.
Well, in terms of Trash Taste podcast now, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
you guys.
Hugely popular. Tell us a bit about the journey of this whole podcast and where are you guys taking it in the future?
What's it go?
Just talk shit, innit? Yeah, I mean, like, we started the podcast as an anime podcast. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of like try to trick people into thinking we were going to talk about anime and then immediately just stopped talking about anime like episode 2. But we never imagined it to get like this big or this popular. I remember before when we had to pitch Trash Taste to Mei Lin to like get approval to help us find a studio and stuff, we actually came up with like a business plan. And we said, you know, by the end of year 1, we look to aim to get about 100,000 subscribers. And we got that within, I think, like a week or something like that, right?
Because I think we pitched that back in like February or something. So, you know, to the company, it was like, oh, you have an entire year to get there. All right, maybe you might get there. And then, yeah, you guys just destroyed that goal in about a week. So
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And then it just kept growing from there, and then it allowed us to do more ambitious projects like the specials, the drifting and cycling specials, and just allowed us to really experiment with different kinds of content. And yeah, I don't know, here we are now doing like a kind of like a world tour almost, which is like we've been doing it for 2 years now, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, thank you very much for watching us all this time.
Thank you.
Thanks to you guys. And guys, in terms of production, was it different now having a team behind you guys and just working? Like, how was that compared to doing a lot of solo stuff before?
I mean, yeah, when we first started off Trash Taste, it was literally me, Connor, Gaunt, and our manager, Mei Lin, so it was just the 4 of us. And now we have, how many people do we have now? Like 10, 15? Yeah, 10, 15 people behind the camera sometimes. Most of that is to do with, you know, just helping us do less work off camera, because it was such a pain to like have to worry about all the individual components. We've actually like lost entire recordings and episodes because we can't monitor the recording and the recording all of the time. So, and also with our live streams as well, that actually takes a lot of effort behind the scenes to get that to work, which we couldn't have done when we started because it was just 4 of us doing everything. So yeah, it's a lot smoother now, and hopefully that shines through.
Yeah, the actual like recording setup is like not much different, just better gear. We just have somebody presses record. That's it. It's all set up. It's all set up. It's nice. It's nice to have that, I think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have fan questions that have just come in from the Smash community. Thank you so much for sending them through. Our first one today is from Aaron W. His question is, what are the most beneficial opportunities available at an event like Smash that beginner creatives like artists or content creators can take advantage of?
Networking? Is that a good answer?
Yeah, I mean...
Easy answer.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the first anime conventions I ever went to was Smash back in 2014. Back when, I think there was like, it was still up in Mascot. It wasn't even here. In this tiny convention room with like 2,000-3,000 people. And I did a video there where I like interviewed people who were there. Cause you know, I was barely known at the time, right? So I could still go around and, you know, interview people. And that was really cool because it was like, it opened me up. That was the first ever video I did outside of my room. So I think if it wasn't for that, I, you know, wouldn't have started feeling comfortable, you know, filming outside in a public space. And, you know, and even if you don't make content like that, I think it's really good. Yeah, as Sydney was saying, like, networking is one of the best things to do at a convention. Like, meet fellow artists, meet fellow creators, and, you know, if you have the liberty to do so, then, you know, why not take advantage of that?
Yeah, I mean, early on, we used to go to, you know, big conventions like Smash, and especially AX, where you get to network not with industry people, but just other fellow content creators as well. And as a content creator, there's nothing that inspires you more than talk to other content creators. You know, that really refreshes your gears and, you know, gets you the inspiration that you need a lot of the times, because you just get to like throw ideas together with people and collaborate as well. So it's just a great place to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say more than that. Networking plus putting yourself out there, it's a great way. There's a lot of content that you could make at a con. You know, everyone's a fan of anime, so it's great to have a place where you can kind of just let loose and know that everyone's part of the same thing, and just knowing that you have a collective kind of appreciation for this medium that a lot of people don't. So it's good to get to come here and just meet like-minded individuals. Yeah.
Are you guys able to actually walk the floors when you're on, you know, in conventions like this? I know you're in Miami, etc. I mean, can you?
Not really anymore.
Not anymore, unfortunately. We tried to do it at Anime Expo once, and that didn't really go very well.
Yeah, so I actually just walked the floor earlier today, which was very, very nice. It was awesome, but it feels weird needing security now because
we're just too popular, guys. Sorry, what can I say?
I mean, it felt like super bad at Anime Expo because that's like they don't cap their tickets as much as you do here in Smash, right? So it's almost impossible to walk the floor even without security. And we tried it, like we attempted it one day, and we had like a whole fucking posse of security just escorting us to like the stalls that we wanted to go. And it felt so bad having like security run up in front of us, you know, fucking just like smacking children out of the way. You're like, make way, it is the trash taste boys. Out of the way, peasants.
It's more embarrassing because they're like announcing it. It's like, I feel like we're like the king rocking up into like the slum peasant, and it's like, just get out of the way, peasants, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you be in the way?
Yeah, because like as a British guy, there's nothing that grinds my gear more than if someone affects my pace of walking, you know? And like having to walk through the convention and just seeing people walk and just the security being like, stop. Okay guys, make way. I couldn't stop apologizing. I'm just like, sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So
yeah. But yeah, I think like Trash Taste really changed a lot of things because I think it just made us way more recognizable as well, and I feel like it just changed the whole dynamic, which we didn't have before. So yeah, I think Trash Taste changed a lot.
Thanks very much. Any experiences in terms of that, Sydney?
I mean, I also had to deal with the same thing as they did, so not much more to add besides, you know, a lot of apologizing for just like, especially when they would come up and ask like, hey, is it a picture? And the security guys would be like, no, get out of the way.
yeah, like you can walk around if you don't take pictures, but what happens is when you take one picture, everyone looks. Everyone's like, oh, what's going on there? And then they might recognize you, so then it just becomes like a thing. And it's kind of impossible to walk around if you're taking pictures. If we're like, no pictures, it's like, okay, you can walk around, but then some people will be like, wow, Connor's a dick, man. He should no picture. And it's like, well, I just want to see him fail.
Like, there's no winning. There's no winning.
So it's kind of stressful.
Well, we got a great question in from David. He asks,
Thanks, David.
you guys have been on YouTube for quite a long time. Has there ever been a video that's been blocked or copyright striked for any random reason?
Sydney, you want to take this one?
Oh boy, do I have a story. No, I mean, a lot of my videos get age restricted, for good reason.
What a shocker.
I know.
Really?
I know, you wouldn't expect, you know, a BDSM hotel. But,
Why did I get age restricted? I don't understand.
I really can, to be fair, I didn't show anything that was in, I will fight to the death on this, but nonetheless, I mean, copyright striked, sometimes. I did get one thing, but YouTube removed it after I kind of made a little fuss because it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Is that it? Is that where you're ending that sentence?
I just need to breathe for a minute.
Okay,
Just need to die.
I mean, like, since I've been on YouTube for so long, you kind of learn how to like dodge copyright strikes as much as possible. Just because with enough experience, you get strikes. Like when you're starting, you can like bloody like just trip over and you get a copyright strike. I swear to God. But after a while, you learn how to edit around that. But the problem is that YouTube's algorithm is constantly getting better and getting smarter. So it used to be that I could use like anime music or anime OSTs in my videos, and then eventually YouTube got so advanced that it could detect the OSTs that it's using even if I'm talking over it. So it's constantly getting better. So you're constantly having to evolve your content and change how you do things. Yeah, that's...
Does it go back through your old videos with the new algorithm?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it does.
No.
It does.
Yeah, so like we could have like random videos from like 7-8 years ago, and an email just being like, oh, this video has been copyright claimed, and it was like, oh, it's a video from 8 years ago.
Yeah, that
that's
doesn't happen a
2,000
lot.
views. That's fit. Come on, YouTube.
You're like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, it's like why this one? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one really annoying thing is sometimes you use like copyright-free music in your videos that, you know, the artist allows to use like Creative Commons wise, but then they eventually like get signed or picked up by a label or something, and so all of their previous works, even though they allowed it originally, is suddenly, you know, copyrighted music, and that gets claimed post, post upload.
Didn't you have an issue with that with your old outro?
Yeah, I got like my entire YouTube channel copyright claimed for a while, so I lost like a bunch of money. But you know, it wasn't too bad. I made a lot of complaints, and eventually it got fixed. But yeah, someone had made a piece of music, there was a remix, and they didn't have permission to sell licenses, but they sold me one anyway. And I was like, dude, this is sick. I paid some dude $50 on PayPal. I'm totally sorted. And then yeah, no, the label did not care. So then I had to beg YouTube to let me swap out all the audio at the end of some videos, and it was a whole process. It took months, but eventually we got there, and it was like the only time I've ever seen YouTube like actually help me. It just doesn't happen normally. Normally they're like, oh, your life is falling apart? That's sick, dude.
It's like, oh, you're not Mr. Beast? Well, then we don't really care about you.
Yeah, you just hear crickets, just in the background. Just silence, nothing. So yeah, it's cool when they do something. Like, credit where credit's due. YouTube does help sometimes. You just have to complain like a baby on Twitter. It
always
sucks.
Works.
It sucks so much.
Though. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Next question in from Small Seed, user Small Seed. What happened? So, what helped you the most starting out on YouTube in terms of learning editing, filming your content? Like, was it Sony Vegas tutorials, using a webcam, transitioning in camera work?
It's just Movie Maker, wasn't it? It was
Well,
just like,
no,
Originally,
I started on Premiere Pro.
this guy.
This guy. Well, you had a degree
Mr.
that taught you how to do that.
Not only that, but my dad used to work for Adobe, so he used to give me like free suites. So I had to get it.
I get
mean, it
free
is quite
suites too.
expensive,
I
yeah.
just don't have dad that gives me. I just find website.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, it was all YouTube tutorials. I don't know how I would have learned editing without YouTube tutorials. And for some reason, the best YouTube tutorials are all Call of Duty editing videos. I don't know why, especially when it's like Sony Vegas, it's always like this crappy, like, COD music video.
Like the
editing,
headshot
right?
montages and stuff.
It's when they open the notepad and they start typing. Hello, I will teach you how to use Sony Vegas today.
It's like, sorry, my mic is not available.
Oh yeah, well there'll be some guys like,
Okay, here's how you put the blood on Snoop Dogg in the video, and you just gotta rotate it.
And like, what I don't understand is that they'd be teaching you how to edit via Sony Vegas, and they'd like screen record using like unregistered hypercam too. They'd always see in the corner. I'm like, you couldn't afford like screen recording software or something. So yeah, it's mostly just YouTube tutorials and trial and error, which is a big factor, you know.
Yeah, a bit like experimenting with your content, experimenting with your editing style. Like, you don't have to like come out the gate having the most like extravagant setup or, you know, camera or equipment or even editing style or anything. It's like, you know, I started on an iPhone 3, you know, and no microphone or anything, and, you know, bare minimum editing. And then eventually over time, you know, if you love what you do, then you kind of start to be like, okay, what if I like did this little edit for here, or this little edit, or what if I like filmed it in this way? What if I start writing a script instead of just doing it off, you know, the dome? So it's like, I think for me personally, it was like very small baby steps, and then eventually over time you kind of find your style of presenting and you find your video style. Yeah.
Do you guys have the dream set up now compared to where you were before, obviously? Or are you guys looking to expand that into some Mr. Beast, huge $10 million
I don't think
studio?
anyone can expand it to the Mr. Beast level except Mr. Beast.
Yes.
But as nice as it would be, I don't know, I'm pretty content with what I currently have now.
when you have a giant team, it loses a lot of charm in a way.
Yeah, weirdly.
I mean, there are some projects where I wish we did have more of a team behind it, because one of the biggest challenges about making content in Japan is that no one in Japan understands YouTube. So trying to find like content producers or staff members who can help us make content is really, really hard, because we end up having to train them from like the ground up. Because it's really hard to find someone who can speak English and also lives in Japan, and also understands YouTube. You go to somewhere like LA though, or even here, and you have a much easier time finding people who understand the space.
Thanks very much, guys. Next question in from Josh MC. How has the job of being a YouTuber and content creator changed your outlook on life, for example, changed what you wanted to do for a living or your values?
If that's not a loaded question, Jesus.
These are
You all the money, yes. Oh, I want more.
Everything in life could be content.
Yeah.
What's in your life aren't you monetizing?
Baby birth content. Yeah, I honestly, I don't even know what it is.
That was a thought that could have stayed.
No, I'm just pitching it.
You should have left that in the drafts, bro.
It's hard not to, you know, it is as hard as the job can be at times, and I say that with big air quotes. It's an amazing job. Like, it's like the best job. We get like paid to just have fun and make cool stuff, and I mean, there's a reason why a lot of kids nowadays want to be YouTubers, because it is a great job, and no matter how much people complain, it's awesome. We're like very fortunate.
I literally get paid to get drunk in bars with like
Yeah,
women.
that's a special case.
Please just tell me how my job is not like the best job in the world. I'm asking.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think for me as well, and a lot of like, I guess like a big issue I've seen with like a lot of YouTubers recently is that I think they put too much of their self-worth into like their content and like the success of their channel and stuff like that, and you know, that leads to, I mean, you know, there's a reason why we hear a lot about like mental health issues being a massive thing amongst YouTubers, because it's true, it's very easy to kind of get lost in...
And we're all psychopaths.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, you need to be a psychopath to be a YouTuber, definitely. But like, I think, you know, a lot of people kind of get lost. It's so easy to get lost in the numbers and, you know, the quote unquote fame. So it's like, I think one thing that for me personally was to kind of like separate what is essentially my job with my personal life, and, you know, don't let those two worlds mix too much. Obviously, for a lot of people, you know, that borderline is very different. You know, some people want to prioritize content more than their personal life, and if it works for them, hey, all the more power to them. But for me personally, I really value like just having, you know, like friends and family that, you know, can kind of keep me grounded, I guess, and just like make me realize that at the end of the day, I'm just a normal dude like everyone else, you know, just living their best life. So, you know, so I think like, yeah, just stuff like that, really. I don't know where to go from there.
Honestly, that was a better answer than I could have ever given. Yeah, what Joey said. Yeah.
Just quickly, a show of hands of how many people want to be a content creator or is already a content creator in this room. Raise your hand.
Oh my God.
You poor souls.
Ow.
A few content creators in here. Oh, especially up the front as well.
You are all competition now.
Okay, our next question is from Dina. Thanks for the question. What's one of the best things you've discovered about Australia so far that you didn't expect?
Well, it's the first time for all three of you, so I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I was told the internet doesn't work here, but I'm just kind of surprised. It seems to work.
Yeah, like, shout out to the NBN, because goddamn, like, we actually have regular internet now.
Yeah, like, this is good.
My upload at my house is like 15, but when I first was living here, I had 0.3. I know, it's disgusting, so shout out NBN.
No, don't shut them out for doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, every second person I've met here just has like apologized to me about the bad weather, and I'm like, what? This is bad weather?
Yeah, I like this weather. I think it's pretty good.
I'm like, this is a British summer. Why are you apologizing? This is amazing.
Legit.
Yeah.
I like the weather. Oh,
Yeah.
the food here is insane.
It's
Oh my
honestly
God, I have
like,
not had
You guys are
a
eating good.
bad meal since I landed.
it's like the opposite of England.
Yeah.
What?
Everywhere you go.
Yeah, and it's just nice to be in a walkable city again. Since like we just flew here from like LA and America, it's just nice to be able to like walk places and use.
Not get stabbed, yeah.
Have you been stabbed?
No, because I mean, every time. Tell me any time in LA where you walking around in public and there wasn't that nagging thought in the back of your head, like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if I got stabbed right here.
Stabbed, shot. What do you mean?
Yeah, or just hurt in some way.
no,
Like,
no.
it's crazy because like LA is one of those places where it's like, even in the middle of the day, and you could be surrounded by a bunch of other people walking the streets, for some reason you just don't feel safe.
Yeah.
I can't believe we just flew thousands of miles to complain about America again. How do we always do this?
We can relate, right?
Basically,
We
you guys
don't
are
do it on
great.
purpose. We don't even do this on purpose to make fun of America. It just comes out.
It's just second nature now.
We're comparing places, and it's notable because it's such.
I'm sitting right here.
I don't feel sorry. Also, everyone's been super nice. Everyone is so chill, and it's exactly how I expected it to be.
Well, hopefully you'll be back next year, right guys?
Hopefully.
All right, our next question is from Holly. If you could lend your voice to any anime, say they added a new character and were casting for a voice actor, which anime would it be and why?
Oh man, I don't know. That's tough.
That is tough.
I want to be everything in JoJo. I'll dub everything. I'll
Feel
do it all.
free to give us a voice impression.
It would be so bad. I couldn't.
I want to be any voice in a good Berserk adaptation. Like an actual, like, not...
That's the dream.
That's the dream. Like, it's already a dream to have a good Berserk adaptation,
I think
but
that's
to be
the dream. That's
but
the-
to be a voice in one would be legendary.
I would want a voice in a hentai just for shits and giggles.
Honestly, yes.
I think we can all agree that would be also another dream.
Honestly, that would be peak.
That would be
That would
peak.
be
the
absolute peak.
content alone.
That would be the peak and the downfall of my career at the same time.
It would be worth it though.
Yeah,
It would be worth
It'd be worth it.
Yes.
That's amazing. I know, Gant, that you mentioned that you are creating an anime.
I mean, that's yeah. I mean,
I mean-
that's kind of in like the planning stages right now.
Can it
Yeah.
be a hentai though? Can it be?
I mean, I don't even know what the production process.
Gone.
of
If
that
I don't
is.
see a single titty in your anime, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Honestly,
I think that'll be a titty. I think that's pretty solid.
Just
a
one.
half a titty, please.
Just
We'll
one.
have,
Just
we'll have
one.
half a titty. All right.
Stay tuned, everyone. Okay, next question from Nazal. What was the most unexpected consequence or event that resulted from starting Trash Taste that you guys did not anticipate?
Losing all our luggage. No one was expecting that.
That's tough. That's a really tough. I don't know. Everything was unexpected.
I mean, yeah, just the success of the show was unexpected, I think, to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never thought I'd be able to do all this cool stuff, like drifting and cycling around Japan. And, you know, the other specials that we have planned, which we're not going to spoil as well. We've done a lot of cool things that I never imagined I would get the chance to do in my life, period. So that's been incredible.
Yeah, if you come to the panel tomorrow, we'll show you a little teaser for a special.
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
come.
Yeah.
And that's like, that was a really fun special.
That was a really fun
We'll talk about that
We'll
tomorrow.
talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what tomorrow's
Just
about.
side note, I actually keep rewatching the trailer. It's actually really damn good.
Don't spoil what we're going to do.
Trailer's better than the
I'm
special.
making it
Yeah.
hype. I'm not spoiling, Garn.
Okay.
I'm creating hype.
I just think the success of Trash Taste was the biggest unexpected thing. We just expected it to be like any other YouTuber podcast, where people like listen and pretend they care, and then they don't really care, and then it's kind of crazy to see how many people actually are invested in Trash Taste. I think we really appreciate it.
And I think for us personally as well, like, at least for me, it's like really surprising to see just like the broad spectrum of people who are into Trash Taste as well. Like, and like that goes.
Shout out to the moms out there, thank you.
Yeah, honestly. And it's like, especially with like, you know, I think we've all three of us have gotten to know like a whole plethora of like different YouTubers and Twitch streamers who know us from Trash Taste, where it's like, I didn't even know you were aware that I existed, you know, kinds of like content creators, right? So it's like, that was really cool. Because I know that without Trash Taste, it would have been very difficult for those content creators that I think we all look up to, you know us and acknowledge us, so yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I think the biggest unexpected change is that so many people know my name now. Because my entire life, my name has been a living autocorrect. And now suddenly people call me by my real name, and they know that it's actually a real name as well. So, yeah, that's been the biggest, like...
You've ruined Grant for me, you know. Someone made me sign Grant earlier, I just did Gant.
Yes,
Sorry.
that is the final goal.
Joey, did you want to expand on how you lost all your luggage?
Our luggage.
Yeah,
All
please.
their
Our luggage.
luggage.
Yeah.
Our luggage. Yeah, so we flew. So we did a couple of episodes of Trash Taste on the road, and you know, this is, I'm sure if you follow the Trash Taste law, you'll know what's up. But like we basically brought all of our equipment, like cameras and microphones and all this, a lot of expensive equipment on the road so that we could film a couple of episodes while we're in the UK and the US. But as we flew from the UK to the US, the airline screwed up and lost all of our luggage, and we still don't know where it is.
Oh my God.
And it's a lot of.
It's been a month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
been a
lot
month.
of equipment.
$50,000 just.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was there hard drives of footage in it?
No, luckily
okay,
not. Luckily not. But like all of the cameras and the microphones and the audio equipment, all gone.
Yeah.
My
So-
children, my babies.
Yeah. So it's just going to be a pain in the ass to get all of that back. You know, once we all get back, because otherwise we can't film Trash Taste episodes when we get back.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah.
If anyone knows where it is, or know anyone that knows where it is, tweet them,
Works for
please.
the Irish airline Aer Lingus here. Let them know that I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, next question's from Theo. Was there a difference, if any, in the content that you made before COVID and after COVID, and what did you learn from that?
I used to make content on anime. And now I don't.
What did you learn from that?
I learned that people still like me even though I don't talk about anime, which is reassuring for me. Because I mean, you know, with someone with the username of mine, I did feel like I kind of screwed myself with that and kind of, you know, put myself into a pigeonhole of just anime content. So, but like, you know, as much as I, you know, still love anime and still, you know, watch it and read it and all that, even though I don't make videos on it, I also have other things that I like and other passions that I want to make videos on and be creative with. So it was very scary to, you know, be like, maybe I should cut back on the anime content, but then maybe I might lose a lot of subscribers. Thank God I didn't, and you guys still like my stuff, so thanks for that. But yeah, that was definitely very scary.
Oh, sorry, I mean, I'm next in line, right?
Go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just streamed, I guess. That's I've been streaming a bunch, and I think that was mainly because of the pandemic, and that's kind of like my thing that I enjoy doing most in terms of my own channels and stuff. I just really love it. I really love Twitch chat. I really love. Can we get a pog, please? But like, imagine that, but you can do it for like more people.
Literally can't
It's
escape.
awesome. It feels powerful. I love it. You guys do anything. I love it. Can we get a woo for crime? Do we love committing crimes? Hell yes! See, this is great. This is so.
Shout out to all the criminals.
Shout out if you've avoided a parking ticket before. That's it? Okay. Oh, geez, I kind of disappointed.
Surprise, we have the police backstage. You're all arrested now. Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I think the biggest thing is just, I guess, trusting in myself as a personality as opposed to just doing scripted content.
We believed in you.
I don't know. It was a hard transition. It was a hard transition. I remember the first time was the first time we did the Trash Taste figure special, and I think that was like the first time I'd done something on camera. And I remember I was so nervous and so awkward. Luckily, that's like most of that is edited out of the final cut, but I had to do like 10 more takes than like these guys had to do when we were filming.
And now you're the loudest.
Yeah.
He's so fucking loud. Like, you can hear him, and like, it doesn't matter how far away in the story is, you'll hear, "What's up, guys? It's gone."
With the alligator church. Dun, dun, dun.
He's good though. He's good.
Someone's got to get excited for the Fate figures because these guys
No.
aren't. Come on.
Anyone cosplaying Fate here? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I hate that you had to be right. I hate that.
That was good. I was kind of
I thought that was scripted.
Thank you guys.
Can't
Very
believe
lucky.
it, guys. Can't believe it. Come
Very
on. Where's the
lucky.
Fate representation? I'm so disappointed.
As for me, I suppose it's just more of, I guess, when you first move to a new country and you want to expand and do something different, it's scary. Because, you know, it's like, I'm not fluent in Japanese. I don't know, I wasn't born and raised here. I don't know the normal cultural aspects and how to do things. But I guess, you know, COVID just made me just give less of a crap. And I did it. And life is an enigma. I don't know, I don't know how to end sentences.
Well, I think we all can agree that you guys have done an amazing job, and thank you so much for entertaining us through the pandemic.
Thank you guys for watching us.
Thanks for the Vegemite, guys.
We've got a couple more questions, guys. One from Vanessa. Please reenact the Jotaro versus Dio fight in a very bogan way.
How would you even do that? How would...
I'm trying to remember what they even say.
There's only like 2 people. How would this be
Yeah.
Sydney, do you want to kick it off, Sydney?
I never watched JoJo.
Bogan is like really like deep Australian accent. Right?
Okay, I'll teach you guys how to speak like bogan.
Okay. Let's start with that
So
first.
you have to talk like as if your jaw has been dislocated. Like it's just your
Is this true?
Your lips just never touch. You just got to be like, oh yeah.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
It's true. That was just Australian noises.
Yeah, that is just it is just Australian noises.
It's literally like, oh, you can play.
Why did your voice change? You're like a bogan Kermit.
I'll take it though.
Do we want to?
I don't
know
even
if we
know. How
can.
would you do that? I don't even know how that would work. How would you even do like an aura in bogan? Oi, mate! Ora. I don't know. It wouldn't work.
No,
They'd
it
probably
doesn't
like throw a
work.
boomerang or something at each other.
It's literally like
Instead of
Street
punches,
Fighter.
it's just
So hard,
a
ain't it?
million boomerangs.
I don't want
racially
to culturally appropriate anyone here, you know. Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm gonna be honest. No.
Yeah. We can't. Sorry.
Fair enough,
I appreciate
pass
it.
on that. Okay, next one's from Green Tanuki. Would someone who is from a non-Japanese speaking background be able to do voice acting in Japan? Opinions and thoughts?
I think, of course, it's possible. I mean, there are foreigners who,
There's very few.
there's few, but it's possible.
It's definitely a big hole that's left in the voice acting industry in Japan. I think just because I think when a Japanese the voice acting industry looks at a foreigner, they just immediately think, oh, you can do an English voice. We don't, because it's like, you know, I feel the Japanese VA industry is so incredibly competitive already with Japanese people.
Yes.
So it just doesn't leave a whole lot of room for non-Japanese people to try and get in. Even though they could be the most Nihongo Jozu ever, it's just the fact that they are foreigners, unfortunately, just kind of leaves them in a bit of a disadvantage already, just because they don't believe in them, I guess.
You'd have to be native in Japanese, essentially. So even getting to that level would be so difficult, and then you need to be able to actually act in that language.
And
which
the
is,
accent alone, you have to make it
well, yeah, so
naturally.
you'd have to sound native. So
Yeah.
the first challenge is like already like way up here. And when people ask me this, I'm like, why do you not want to voice act in your own language? Like that's what I always wonder.
Right.
I'm like, I guess because anime, it's like I have to do it in Japanese, and it's like, well, if you're English, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You kind of born on the wrong continent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you'd have to spend like years and years already living in Japan and, you know, making contacts to begin with. So it's not like something that you can just move to Japan and want to be a voice actor. But, you know, having said that, I think that there are more and more foreign people working in the anime industry like nowadays.
yeah.
I mean, like, you couldn't imagine, like, years ago, anyone who lived abroad working on anime projects, and we have, like, Kevin Penkin here today, you know, who is a composer from Australia who's done music for anime, which was, like, unthinkable.
Can we get a
Like,
woot woot for Kevin real quick?
Yeah.
Can we get a woot woot for tax fraud?
How did I get the bigger woot?
Shout out if you don't pay your taxes. That's why the roads suck here.
It's like tax fraud, Kevin Bacon.
Oh, poor Kevin.
Sorry, Kev.
Thanks very much, guys. Still along those lines, a question from Anon. As foreigners who have lived in Japan for a while, do you still feel like outsiders? If you do you think that feeling will ever completely go away, or is it just gonna always be there?
I love this question because I think I've always wondered when people ask this, like, why do you want to feel like you're Japanese? It's like you're a foreigner, and it's like that's where you are. Like, no matter how much you speak, you're still a foreigner.
I mean, I think it's more of like, do you ever want to just, because it's kind of different where it's like if you're, or it's like walking around and you're not being stared at. You know, it's like I can't walk outside without makeup or wearing like light clothes because I know anywhere I go, even if it's close to my house, blonde hair, blue eyes, I'm going to be stared at. Yeah. And it's more of like, that's never going to change. I like there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but it's also kind of like, you know, sometimes I do just kind of want to go outside and not wear makeup and not feel like, oh my god, people are looking at me, you know?
Yeah, I feel like a shiny Pokemon. It's pretty it's pretty awesome.
No, it is, yeah. And like even for someone like me who is technically half Japanese, the fact that I don't look Japanese to the Japanese population automatically makes it that I am also just as foreigner as anyone else who visits, and I think that's just something that I'm just gonna have to live with for the rest of my life. But you know, at the same time, I think the fact that Japan slowly, especially with like the younger generation, is getting more fascinated by foreigners and is getting more comfortable with foreigners, I think over time it is going to get, I'd say, a little bit easier, but in terms of like actually, you know, assimilating with Japanese culture fully and being Japanese, quote unquote, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I like being Welsh. I like it.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening, at least like within our lifetime. Maybe if like a new generation, you know, gets more informed about foreigners and different cultures and everything like that. But how Japan is now, I unfortunately don't see that happening. And yeah, it's great to be a foreigner, but I also feel bad for some people who have like lived there more years than, you know, were in their home country, and they will still never be seen as a foreigner as well. So yeah, it's like kind of a give and take. So only time will tell, I would say.
Well guys, 2 questions left. One from Annie asking, have you guys tried a Tim Tam Slam? Or a Golden Gay Time
So, if you guys saw the After Dark stream yesterday, Garn did a Tim Tam Slam.
Yeah, I did. And
I failed Tim Tam.
I failed massively because it like just melted off my fingers and just slipped into the sea.
Long. You were fucking around.
Yeah, exactly.
Got on.
What the hell? What's a Tim Tam Slam? I know Tim Tams, but I don't know.
So you like slam it in a desk.
Why would you slam it in a desk? For what purpose?
Because they're bored.
It's Australian pastime.
Okay.
So you get a Tim Tam and you throw it on the ground as hard as you can.
That just seems like a waste.
No, it's great. It's good fun.
You eat it afterwards.
You eat it after.
You scoop it off the ground and then just.
That's like drinking out of your shoe.
Yeah, that's why they like shoes.
You can pair it with a shoey if you want. Yeah.
Jesus.
No, and I've been trying to get these guys to have a Golden Gay Time because that is my favorite ice cream, hands down. But you had a Maxi Bomb, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I want to have one. It actually looks really good. The first time Joey mentioned it, I was just like, Joey, it's not Pride Month anymore.
Yeah,
what's going on, Joey? Like, but yeah, he showed us the ice cream and it looks delicious. Yeah.
I still haven't had one yet either since coming back, so I'm definitely gonna change that.
Maxi Bonds are on point though.
Maxi Bonds are sick. Yeah, heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you get your Oporto, by the way, Joey?
No, I'm gonna have an Oporto next week though.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, if you want to give him any gifts, Golden Gay Times and Oporto, that's the way to go.
No, wait, no.
No, it's gonna melt. It is going to melt by the time you can give it to us.
All right, guys. Last question today from Jaden. Do you know what Milo is?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's in like most southeastern countries.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty popular in Thailand.
Yeah.
So.
The chocolate.
Do you know what it is, Connor? Because
I don't drink chocolate milk. I'm not 4.
It's not really like, it's like chocolate. It's not just milk,
He doesn't
Connor.
know.
Hands up if you drink chocolate milk. Your children, all of your children.
I'll gladly be a child.
Where are your parents?
Yeah.
I don't like chocolate milk. I just want a chocolate.
It's not chocolate milk. It's Milo.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too like bitter old man jaded.
Yeah,
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
I turned 26 like in like a week, and I feel like that's it. I'm old.
We are literally all older than you.
You're literally. Youngest one on the
Damn.
stage.
Literally
guys-
shut.
And probably the youngest in this room.
You guys are
Yeah.
decrepit.
You're
The youngest
gross.
in this room, what?
Honestly
In
disgusting.
terms of mentality, I mean.
Oh! Someone said it. Oh!
I'm never returning to this country.
Well, there's a second part to this answer. It says, yeah, my load in your face.
Alright guys, this has been great. I think it's time for us to leave now. It's time for us to go now. Thank you very much for coming to the panel.
Guys,
That was good.
I'm gonna use that next time. I have to use that next time.
That was just
good.
great.
That was good.
guys, on that note, because we've got such an amazing turnout today, we're going to take a group photo. Hands in the air, everyone. Get you guys on here at the front.
Pose. Pose for us.
Look at that butt!
All right, hands in the air, everyone. 3, 2, 1.
Tim Tams.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the amazing Sydney, Garth, Connor, and Joey.
Thank you very much.
See you guys
Thanks,
tomorrow.
guys. Thank you so much for coming out to